If you want to grow your net worth from $0 and really explode it, it's not about finding that perfect investment or following some sort of get rich quick course. It's about following a very simple, boring stack of behaviors consistently over time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 5 layers that I call the boring stack. Now, if you follow all 5 layers, $384 per day. Or roughly speaking, you would have to make around $48 an hour in a standard work week. Now, of course, even if you were making $48 an hour and making $100,000 a year, you're not exactly taking home $100,000 a year. There are going to be bills, taxes, expenses, etc. So maybe a better stretch goal here is to actually hit it in 3 to 5 years. At 3 years, we would need to net save. So that means after all expenses, $91 per day. And if we wanted to hit it in 5 years, we would need to save around $55 per day. So perhaps percent of that actually came from your savings and only 15% came from your investment returns. Okay, but let's pretend you are a great investor and you average 10% per year. You'll actually hit it in 5 years, but savings will still make up 77% of your first 100K. Lastly, let me give you an extreme example. Let's pretend you invest $10,000 per year, and this time you are averaging 20% returns every single year, which is nuts, by the way. That's maybe close to what Warren Buffett was able to accomplish over periods of his career. It would take you still about 5 years to hit $100,000, and even then, 60% of it, or the majority, is still comprised of savings, and 40% is investment returns. So the pay. In this world of AI that we live in, it's increasingly becoming really hard to stand out because AI can do a lot of what humans can do already and sometimes even better. But let me give you a practical example that can show you the difference in value that a skill can give you. Let's pretend for a moment that you are the country's top brain surgeon in America, so you have a specialized skill right there. Of course, there are tons of general practitioners. Those people make great money. There are lots of doctors and physicians and nurses, but the one person making way more than all of those other medical professionals is the top brain surgeon in the country. You might be able to swap your physician for another physician and get pretty comparable results because if you aren't spending it, you have an opportunity to save it and invest it towards 100K. So let's make this practical. I have 3 easy tips for you. The first is what I like to call the 24-hour rule. This is probably the single most effective thing that I use in my personal life in order to cut back on spending. Before any non-essential purchase that's over $100, you want to wait 24 hours before you actually buy the thing. Now, $100 is just the number that I chose in my head, but for you, it could be $25, it could be $50, or it could be... James Clear says it best in Atomic Habits. He said that in order to form a good habit, we shouldn't aim to rely on motivation. We want to design our environment so that the right behavior just happens automatically and happens naturally. In fact, research has shown that those who pay themselves first, also known as automatic savers, they will usually hit or exceed their savings target more often than manual savers, so those